So we prep for him. Welcome to the My Amazon Guy podcast. Today's guests, we have Jacqueline and Minna from the Product Boss. These guys are awesome. Super excited to have you on. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Well, for those that have not heard of the Product Boss, who are you guys?
Well, thanks for asking. So I'm Jacqueline and that's Minna, and we are the co-hosts and co-founders of the Product Boss. So we both have had product-based businesses. Minna still has hers, which is Little Labels, and I have consulted fashion brands for the last 15 years, like startup fashion and apparel brands. And we kind of combined our forces and realizing that there was nobody out there speaking to product entrepreneurs from all places, right? So we've got our Amazon people, we've got Etsy, we've got Shopify, we have people who sell in person, and really helping people organically grow their businesses from their own living rooms, that they could become $1 million brands from home and then also expand. So we have a podcast called The Product Boss. We have a pledge that we've created, which is called the Shop 1 in 5 Pledge, where we're asking people to make 1 in 5 of their purchases from a small business, online or offline. And our mission is to help, home-based businesses grow into $1 million brands.
Well, you must be being successful because you have matching pink mics.
Yeah. This was when we thought, we needed it. We brought it in. This is the big guns.
I bet. Well, Minna, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so Jacqueline and I are actually remote from each other. We are not in the same state. I actually live in Iowa with my family. She is bi-coastal. Her husband is a Broadway actor, so they live just outside of New York City and California. So we really built this business on what started off as friendship, right? Feeling alone in product entrepreneurship, having all of our inventory, trying to build a business, trying to run a family. We both have young families. Now they're older now. And then came together and have really found this gap of people wanting to not feel alone in this product entrepreneurship journey. And a lot of them do have young families. They're building out of their living rooms, like what Jacqueline said. So it's been a journey of getting to know ourselves as well as getting to know a whole big community of people that love talking about the same things as we do. We call our love language product business ownership. And it's been great.
That's a combination of all the love languages, I suspect.
It really is.
Gosh, all of it. If Amazon doesn't whip you down. Well, so yeah, if you want to go fast, you go alone. And if you want to go far, go with a team. And so you guys have teamed up, and that's awesome. Well, on our podcast today, you guys are going to be sharing some insights, tips on how to grow sales on Amazon. One of those questions, we'll jump right in to the meat and potatoes of it. What are your top tips for now just getting started with your products on Amazon?
Yeah, a big one that we have, and we come across this so much, is that everybody thinks that they need to make everything for everybody. They're like, I need to get Amazon or get my things on Amazon, but I'm going to put I'm going to put 25 things on there and see what happens. That's usually their go-to. But what we teach them is that you really take what you know as your best seller, what we call it, the things that you know that are working, that you can sell all day long, all night long, and you take those to Amazon first. Those are the things that even if you have 1 SKU, 2 SKUs, you start with that as the kind of the parent that is, then you can have like children listings, and you see what happens with those, because then it becomes much easier to gain momentum as a small business owner and figuring out what works than trying to do so many things at once.
Yeah, we call it our bestseller, like the bestseller secrets, right? We have a challenge once or a couple times a year about really helping product-based business owners identify their bestsellers, because we feel like it's throwing spaghetti at the wall, and they feel the same on Amazon, right? It's like, we're going to put everything up, right?
I just want the meatballs, though. Tell me the meatballs.
Yeah, like everything. Just most people think if I put everything up, I will get all the people, right? They think the more they put up, the more customers they're going to get. When in fact, we really want our students and the community to understand that you have to be known for something. And so if you have proof that a certain product sells well across platforms, then you know that it will do well in other places. So let's say on Amazon, if you're leaning forward with that, and maybe you have a few variations to it, so Minna's company is called Little Labels. She's a best-selling product on Amazon. She sells labels that are like handwritten labels that you could put on baby bottles. So when you send your kids to daycare and camp, right? So she didn't come out with all the things when she started. I mean, I shouldn't tell your story. Do you want to tell like how you started?
I think an easier one for people to understand too is the story of one of our clients. She did those mugs and everything that has the names on it, or not the names on it, the sayings on it. She also had this other arm of her business. So she was an Etsy business. She did customized tumblers. That's the word I'm going for. She did customized tumblers and soap bottles, right? So something you see all the time. And we were like, oh, these soap bottles that were for farmhouse, they have kind of a farmhouse feel. These would work really great on Amazon. Let's see what happens. So she took that one SKU. She had a thriving business on Etsy. She took that one SKU of her farmhouse bottles. They were a set, and she put them on Amazon. And now she basically created this other arm of her business that makes just as much money as what she had made on Etsy. So using one SKU and one SKU alone, because she knew that she could drive traffic to it. She knew how to sell it. She knew how to connect the dots for the consumer. It was just about really getting good with her messaging and getting good with her customer base and sending them there initially. And then knowing that, okay, this is what's working on Amazon. Let's really go deep instead of wide.
So I think as we throw spaghetti at the wall together today, 2 meatballs you guys have already mentioned. The first is do what you know, right? So like as data scientists, we have all this great data. There are a dozen tools out there that can tell you the search results, the sales velocities, but it can be overwhelming at times. You almost have data paralysis these days looking at it. And so I think that's a really golden nugget, or meatball, as I'm going with the theme today with spaghetti. And that's because if you do what you know, you have a major edge, right? So for example, I'm a former national chess player, and if I go and sell chessboards, I'm going to know literally everything about the vinyl to the triple weighted pieces. But if I try and go sell dental hygiene products and I'm competing against dentists, that's not my forte, right? So I think that was a really, really great point. The other point I think you made, the second meatball, if you were, is the variations, right? So you don't have to be everything to everybody. That totally makes sense. So a lot of people are like, well, maybe I'll just put in, I was really successful with black though. Maybe I should have 20 additional color variations. And so you don't have to be every single variation though, do you? You could go with the 3, the black, blue, and red, and call it a day, right?
Yeah, I mean, in color especially, right? And I come from the fashion world. Like I'm a fashion designer, business strategist in that world. And we know the colors that do well, right? That you can sell all day, every day. And then there's other colors that might be seasonal colors, prints, things like that come and go. So yeah, you can always test something. Like let's say you have an oddball or you want to test something that's a variation you're not sure of, or it's a fashion color, like let's say hot pink for the summer, like our microphones, right? Like most likely not everybody.
You have a winter version too?
We don't. We go pink because we're not in the same place. So, and I actually have been bi-coastal, especially through this pandemic. So I'm in my mom's house right now. And so what we do is if we take our mics with us, that's like a consistent thing that runs through wherever we are in the world. And right. Yeah. It looks like we're together.
Yeah. For all people know, she's in the next room matching mic,
could be. But the idea with our mics, right? This hot pink may not be their bestseller. We discovered it, but there is a market for there. Probably black and blue and red or something might sell better. We're not sure, and we bought these on Amazon. So, I think you test and try. That's what we're all about. You test and try. So you test something. If it doesn't work, it doesn't mean you failed. It means that you just try something else, or maybe it's the wrong season, or maybe you didn't direct the right traffic there. So that's our business, right? It's testing and trying and seeing what works and then leaning into what works instead of what we see a lot of times. People lean into things that aren't working. They're like, oh, if I keep just going at this one thing, right? Double down.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times, like spaghetti at the wall, they're trying all these things. And then, your money gets split up, right? Your money gets split up. Your tactics get split up. It's like, if you're trying to pay attention to this, and so on, let's say a whole bunch of them, then it gets confusing. But if you only have, let's say, you start up with one and you add second one, you're like, okay, I'm moving. And I think that's the kind of the pitfall of being an entrepreneur. You want to do it all at once and you simply can't. You simply can't know what's going on unless you get really hyper focused on, okay, this is my strategy for this. I understand that I can sell this even in any arena. That's why we always go with the bestseller, because usually you were talking about chess. you have more confidence as a business owner too, because you have to talk about that product. There's some people that they throw something on Amazon and they fumble when they're talking about it, trying to sell it, and they can't get anybody to buy it because they don't even have the messaging down. They don't have the confidence to talk about it. They don't know where their money is going really in it, and it becomes disheartening to them, So I think that it just makes it much more clear for the customer. They're not confused at all. And it makes it much more clear for the business owner that this is what I'm selling, this is who I'm selling it to, and this is how I sell it.
So we could dive in for an hour just on product listing optimization. There's so much to cover there. For those that are listening, we have about 20 live viewers right now. If you guys have a question for Jacqueline and Minna today, feel free to ask it. These guys seem like they could pretty much answer any Amazon question. So we're going to pepper in a few of them as we go through. So Glenn says, I only sell one product and its IPI score has stalled at 364. Nowhere close to that 450 mark Glenn's looking for. The only thing I can think of to improve is Facebook ads. What do you think? Long story, but Amazon ads don't work for this product.
Okay. Well, Facebook ads, we run a lot of Facebook ads. And let me tell you, it is kind of a weird time right now with all the privacy and iOS and everything happening. So I don't want to give any strategy when it comes to Facebook ads because none of us know right now what Mark Zuckerberg's doing, right? So
other than spying, yes.
Right.
He really is.
He might be a robot. I don't know.
Yeah, right. So Glenn, have you tried anything as far as getting your bestseller ranking to uptick with having other people talk about your product? So is that, I guess I don't know what your product is. Could you get somebody to talk about it on TikTok, for example, and have them push to it, have them talk about it? So we're talking about social currency here, social proof, and seeing if you could, it's kind of your own version of an ad. People call it influencer marketing, but we're all influencers in our own way. We're seeing that, especially with TikTok, right? Is that everybody has their own version of an audience. And so could you get it to uptick? It's a new product. It's totally unique and head and shoulders better, than anyone in category.
So there's two types of products, right?
Okay.
There's co-op demand type products, and then there's create demand products. Glenn clearly has a demand create product. And so nobody can find his product unless he talks about it. So I like your idea. I think it's a really, really good idea, Minna, with getting some people to talk about it. So that can be uncomfortable. It'd be like, let me just start, spam messaging TikTokers here. Like where does somebody start with that sort of thing?
I mean, I created an inventive product. Like when I had Cuffs Couture, which were wearable wrist wallets, and people weren't looking for them. And I've helped people, like there's this one woman who created sleeping bras, and she was like,
bras, wow.
Yeah, like sagging happens while you sleep. That was her hypothesis. And so she was like, to stop that, you need to wear sleeping bras. Did people know about it? Was it in the market? Was it a need? Was it a fear? So really what would be great, Glenn, is that you lean into PR, you lean into getting people to know about it. So whether you are, somebody who aligns with your ideal customer story, whatever you're selling, and you reach out to them, you're like, hey, I have this amazing product for you. You should try it. If you try it, I'll send you something, maybe they create video content for you that then you can run ads to, or you could really, you need to drive your own traffic there. So you build a list, you build an email list, and then you send them to buy on Amazon, or you just have to let people in the world know. So TikTok, you reach out to influencers. Instagram, you reach out to influencers or people who would be your customer. And you're like, would you like to try it? In return, I'd love a review, or I'd love a video created. If they love it, they're going to be willing to do that, or you kind of have to pay them to do it too.
Yeah, you might have to pay them to do it initially if it's a product that nobody knows about. You totally can. Or there's so many videos being done right now that a big trend is found it on Amazon. And so you send it through Amazon to the TikToker once they agreed, or the influencer. But the thing is, the first step in all of this is you have to do outreach. You literally, like Jacqueline said, you have to do outreach to those people and ask them, hey, I have this product, I would love to get it into your hands. Also, you need to kind of vet these people. Like I said, I don't know exactly what your product is, but if they have the audience that is similar to yours, now it gets broader if it's a product that a lot of people can use, and it's just like a found on Amazon sort of thing,
Right. Yeah, like
like a
almost like
trend.
a as seen on TV, or
Yes,
pick up in
yes.
the grocery aisle on the way out kind of idea. All right, so let's talk about differentiation. So let's say
Okay.
I've got this really cool product and my sales are just not where I want them to be. I need to take it to the next level. So I'm going from good or average and I want to take it to great. What can I do to differentiate myself on Amazon?
Well, I think it's more than your product, right? So a lot of times people think it is simply your product and you can create a variation because those are just tactics, but to create a really a brand that connects with customers takes much more than that. That's where the kind of the magic happens if you found your audience and they have found you. So you differentiate yourself in different ways. So it becomes more than the product. So the stories around it, the people that are talking about it, the testimonials that you show. On Amazon, the first photo is the only one that has to be the white background. Right? It's the only one that has to be the catalog style one. But every other photo on there, so we're talking 8 more photos, 7 more photos, 8 more photos, can be lifestyle ones. They can be, lifestyle meaning like how are these used in action? So they can see themselves in those photos. They could be graphics that point to benefit things like, okay, this, I don't know, some differentiator of yours so they know. Because most people, when they're swiping and they're shopping on Amazon, they can go through the benefits and it helps you to stand out. So what do those photos look like, for example, that you have in addition to your first photo? Is it testimonial ones? Is it 5-star ones? Is it, value-based ones? And that can really start to help you build a brand that's more than your product. You're getting, the social proof, like what I said. You're getting the expertise in a way, like what you talked about, Stephen, maybe some chess language in there or whatever. And then you start building on what becomes more than the product is a desire to buy.
So I'm going to showcase my screen here. We're going to look at my own product. And
Okay.
are either of you guys moms by chance?
Both of us.
Oh, yes.
Perfect. Okay. So this is a product. I launched this for Mother's Day. It's doing great, but I want you to treat this like I'm a person who's coming in for coaching. So what would you do? Like, how do you walk somebody through this listing? And you guys can tell me like where to look and where to scroll and all that. Feel free.
Well, I love your first image. I think the secondary images, right, they're superimposed. Would you say?
I don't know what you mean by superimposed. So go ahead and explain.
Like they're not. It's not a custom photo shoot. It's definitely a shoot that you took you took an image and you did something else.
Graphically edited.
So there is a level of people shopping on Amazon now that want to support the small business owner. They want to support. They kind of are also paying attention to where is it made. Is it being imported from China? Is it something that's being made here? Am I supporting a small business owner? So I think you're obviously doing well. I love that you're using emojis in the description. Potentially, if this is a really great box, which it is, and it probably can survive past, Mother's Day because it's giftable all year. Yeah. So this content's amazing. The fact that you're using video, we find video really useful for people to see. This is the experience, the unboxing. Potentially, if it does really well, I would say you could use an image like a real editorial type image that you do a real photo shoot with women that maybe are a little bit more aligned versus the stock image kind of look. But this, we were going to say, like, if it's a registered brand and you have the ability to do video and all the other things that you're doing, it's fantastic because it takes you over to the world of saying like, oh, this is a real product. It's not, I don't know, they can experience it before they actually get it, especially as a gift.
So I hear you loud and clear. I've been too lazy. I need to do a photo shoot. Got it.
only if it's a product that's working, right? Like we don't want you to lean into all the money and all the things, but I think that's a big thing sometimes that people are going to start buying from the brand and understanding Amazon in a different way, right? So then they're going to want to validate it a little bit more.
What kind of things do you think we should have in that photo shoot? Like, so obviously target demographic, we're talking probably low 30s would probably be like the pristine target demographic if I had to guess. But like, what do you think I should be putting into that photo shoot?
Some of the photos I think that are missing a little bit, you have a lot of unboxing photos that show this is what you get and that's what you get. I would love to see more real in action ones. I think these, because they're photoshopped, they don't really show me drinking out of the tumbler at like a soccer game, or opening up the lotion, smelling it, putting it on my body. That's a skincare, especially, what does it smell like, that sort of thing, so really if you're going even beyond the unboxing video to in-use video of what that somebody smelling, somebody experiencing it, in a way.
I think that key word is experience. It's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and because people buy more than the products. I mean, the Amazon shopper is a bit different, but we're starting to see a shift there as well, right? He wants to sell everything to everyone. So I would say looking at Instagram, for example, and going to those mom Instagrammers that live like the most beautiful, perfect life with their most beautiful, perfect kitchens, and their kids are all wearing matching outfits, and looking through photos of that they do when they're showing something. FabFitFun, we're ambassadors for FabFitFun, and they encourage us to do it's basically monthly or quarterly boxes that women subscribe to that are these unboxings. And so if you follow FabFitFun Partner, you can actually go and see the content that they've asked their partners to create, and then the influencer holding the box open. So it might be something a little bit more like that as well that you could test, but we're just throwing ideas at you. It's test and try, right?
I love it. I like to do ASIN reviews live all the time for my guests. And so bringing experts in who could criticize my product is perfect. I love it.
Okay. I would take that bath bomb and drop it in some water. That could be something like, I always wonder, like if you really think about lifestyle, I kind of think your photos look like what a guy imagines a woman does. Like show that.
Now the good news is, I don't know if my wife is watching this. She might be, but she helped me design the logo. She was very heavily involved.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's all beautiful.
Our third daughter, our third child is daughter's name is Sage, and so one of the fun things that I'm doing is I'm actively working on the launching a brand with each of my child's names on it, and so she's my only daughter. Yeah, so it's kind of how I'm going to leave the empire to them someday. 2 decades.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
but yeah. So I'm glad we got the aesthetics down. But
you did.
The comment of this is what I think a guy imagines a woman does. Holy crap, that was so spot on.
Yeah. So I think more in use ones, even if you did like 15-second reels on social, on Instagram, they have reels, TikTok, they have, TikTok or whatever. So like dropping the bath bomb, seeing what it looks like, pouring some coffee into your cup, closing it up, seeing, the mom on the front of it. What were the other ones? The lotion, opening it up, smelling it, rubbing it on your body, and them understanding what that it smells like too, because smell is such a subjective thing. People like things and sometimes they don't,
But that's a great Instagram to follow, like just to look at, because you'll see like how, it's someone holding a cup forward. So it's the Instagrammable images. It depends on who you're going for, right? Like, and if you want people to feel like it's that same sort of product that they would get from a FabFitFun or another type of subscription box or unboxing, but they're getting it on Amazon. I think that's the thing. Sometimes I get worried when I order stuff. I had to throw a virtual baby shower, tried to do it all through Amazon products. And I
do like shipping in 2 days with everything in one shot. Yes.
Yeah. And so it's encouraging the fact that they would look at it and be like, I'm going to get something that's leveled up through Amazon in 2 days for like a great price, So, but I think it's fantastic so far.
We're on the right track. It sounds like, so that
you are. The product is there the way it looks now, just like what you said, like little tweaks of separating you.
Yeah.
So we launched that product 3 weeks before Mother's Day, did 135,000 going into Mother's Day. Definitely a very successful product going launch. And so we want to snowball it from here. All right. So I got a minor question on trademarks here. I'll take this question. You guys will take the next one. So Maddie asks, can you register a trademark which currently is un-revivable state because it was not filed within the grace period? Absolutely. We filed more than 300 trademarks at My Amazon Guy. If you want to file an expired trademark, you can head over to myamazonguy.com. We'll help you out with that. Mark Cons asks, thanks for being a member, by the way, Mark. Looking to expand in a niche I have a current success in. Should I look to bring in a new style of current product to market or a new color variation of current style? Any advice on how to determine that? I'm going to let you guys take the pass at that. Go ahead.
Can you pop that up again?
Yes, no problem.
Okay, so they have they have a successful product, and they in a specific niche, and so should he bring in a new style of current product or color variation or current style?
Of current style. So I guess, do you have any access or feedback from your customers, right? Have they ever said to you, I want more of this or another variation? So like, let's talk about bathing suits on Amazon, for example. There's certain ones, I know this because I bought a whole bunch recently, where it was like the same style. And if someone finds something that works for them, can they buy a variation of it? So I did. I went back and I bought more and more colors because like, oh, this works for my body. I'm going to get this color. Is this his brand, or you're just looking at that one?
You said swimsuits, so
the leopard one.
Yeah.
I mean, and this pink one, right? Yeah, that one.
Like this one right there?
No, the next one.
Okay.
Yep. So for example, and these are all those superimposed pictures and stuff like that. So what you can see is they took it and then they did a whole bunch of different colors. So depending on your customer and what their needs are, a woman who's looking for more coverage, let's say with like a cute suit, she might say, okay, this fits me. I'm going to get more color variations of it. And it makes sense.
Increase your AOV, buy more products from the same person.
Yeah. One of these listings then took me to like towards the end of the product listings was a different style. It looked similar, but it was different. And it was like within the same, variations. And I tried it, but it actually fit really different. So, and then I ended up returning it. So I think for me, it's like, it depends on the customer and what their needs are. So if it's a candle or something like that, they may want a different scent to it. They might want a variation of it. But let's say you're in the bath products, are you doing really well with bath bombs? Well, do they need soap? Do they need lotion? Like, do they need something else? It depends on if they're buying the brand and the experience of it, or if they're looking for a very specific product.
So I really like that. So almost every question ever in the Amazon space is a variable type question, right? Like there's no wrong answer. It depends, right? So like that's the answer we got, but you guys impacted it, talking in about how in this category, here's why you would want to add a variable. So what would be an example of a category you would not want to add a variation?
Minna.
Apple slices?
You would not want to.
That's the easy one.
I think variations are all great in a lot of different ones, So even with yours, like a go-to might be, it's like color variation on your boxes, for example. It's hard to give these answers with no specific product in mind. I think it's easier to be like, okay, I can poke some holes in this and it's a little bit easier. As far as ones that maybe don't need variations, I don't know. I really am for the put your bestseller on there, figure it out, get a clear message, get a clear customer, and then do some sort of variation, whatever that has.
Thank you, Mark.
Mark said, thanks for a very helpful answer to a very big question. Mark, if you want to, if you're brave enough to share your ASIN, you're welcome to. We'll look it up and take a peek at it.
Yeah.
And Stephen,
variation should be the go-to.
Yeah, like for your product, I wouldn't say pull it apart and start selling mom tumblers by themselves, right? If the box is working, then it's like, is there a bridal shower box, right? Like asking people to be your bridesmaid. Like, is there?
That's the plan.
Okay, so that's like the variation versus like more colorways to the mom box.
And then the first brand I launched is called Momstir, and it's straight up just wine glasses with funny sayings on them. So I'm always launching new funny sayings on them.
Yeah.
This particular product was ranked number one organic for the term wine glass. And then in February, it got banned from ads because Amazon got a little woke. They don't want to talk about social distancing anymore. So,
well, at least you had it when you had it.
Dropped from rank 1 down to like rank 55 and just never recovered. Ads matter for SEO. But anyway, so we do a bunch of those things, and then we're launching a bunch of boxes and stuff under the Age of Sage concept. So yeah, you nailed it. That's exactly what I'm doing with it. All right, let's go to our next question here. So Mikhail says, hi, did you see a new section called Discovered by Customers, searched on web and found on Amazon? Any idea how to get there? 100% not paid. I actually don't know exactly what Mikhail's talking about. Do you guys by chance?
Discovered
Amazon in there. They're like always popping new things up.
They
I
really
know.
are. A lot of the things I saw for small business on Prime Day were people that were in their Launchpad program. Like that was how people got in, and it was nobody else, and then there was an application open to them. So we don't know for sure like how things get into certain places. They certainly, roll out only to their beta version of, a specific amount of people. So I have not seen discovered by customers yet, but that seems cool.
Could be an invite only program, could be a beta test. So like in
Mhm.
Seller Central, like we have access to 160 clients accounts. And so we like just fumble into new areas. For example, I will be releasing a video tomorrow about one of those new sections under customer reviews. You can now contact people who have left you a negative review. So they're like, they took away your ability to talk publicly for reviews. And now they're giving back the ability to contact 1-star reviews. You can't actually customize the messaging at all, but you can click a button to contact them.
Seller reviews or customer reviews, like them reviewing your product or them? Oh, product. Oh, wow.
Product.
Okay.
Yep. And then there's a new customer engagement section. I'm going to share my screen again here. So this section right here, unfortunately, says something is on the way. So I don't have access to this on my account, but we have about 10% of accounts that have access to this. Brands, customer engagement. So if you haven't checked your accounts, you guys are watching this, go check that out. See if you have access to it. You're only about 10% of accounts do at this time. So a lot of new features coming out. Never know what's going to happen next. All right. So another question. This will be our last segment. It's going to be all about conversion rates. So I have so in my opinion, I'm going to set some metrics up here. I think a conversion rate between 8 and 12% is average. So let's say I'm at 8% and I want to go up to 12, 15, 20. How can I increase my conversion rate today?
I think you bring your own traffic. I think that it's all linked, even though we think conversion rate, bestseller ranking, all of it is, conversion rate is if somebody buys or not. But I do think you have to bring your own people that are going to buy to lift it up. So let's say, we have a client that's on Amazon and they went viral on TikTok. Just randomly that somebody opened their product and it was like found this on Amazon, and it's a hat rack for basically hats that stack into each other, and it's a patented product. And they ended up getting $8,000 day on that day just from being on this TikTok that, hey, found this on Amazon, So really thinking about, okay, my conversion, it's this right here, but if I bring the really specific right person, then I could, hat fanatics. I'm sure there's words for, the person that's really cat enthusiast. How can I get that to organically go up too? So I think it's really about getting really, really in tune with your customer, even in those sort of ways. I think the world, though, we get kind of stuck in this what's Amazon doing? Look at all the cool things they're doing. They're coming out with a video. It really is in the whole scope of what Jacqueline and I have seen for small business is returning to a little bit of the old school. How is word of mouth doing? What is foot traffic doing? It's much more holistic. People buying from people actually showing their faces, right? And the small business owners stepping out from behind their products. And that really has been a different way of looking at conversion versus, tactically, what can I do to uptick this little by little? I think you have to kind of expand it a little to be a little bit more organic of, okay, I'm bringing those people here, but I'm bringing very specific people here. And I'm doing it with really specific partnerships. And I'm doing it with, really specific messaging.
So that sounds like hashtag not passive income to me. That sounds like hard work.
Oh gosh, no, I think, yeah.
And we all got into selling on Amazon for this passive income that people mysteriously talk about. So you're saying it takes hard work.
It takes time out of your day. This whole passive income thing is like, come on, guys, like let's draw, And
yes. Amazon is not passive, not really. It takes hard work, just a different type of hard work.
Right. And there's so much that they do, like fulfilling for you and things like that, where like our other product entrepreneurs that aren't selling on Amazon, they have to fulfill, like they have to literally be waiting for the orders and ship it daily to, meet meet the needs of their customers. But I think what we're saying is like, listen, there are experts out there that are going to talk to you about ads and all the things on the Amazon backend. But what Minna and I think why we've been so successful for our community as well is that we talk about this holistic way of marketing and an organic way of marketing. So yes, we teach on pay-per-click and all those things, but at the same time, like there's this one brand that I opted into on their website. It was a text message opt-in, right? Okay, I discovered the brand on social, let's say maybe through Facebook ads. I went to their actual Shopify site, I opted in. Well, on Prime Day, I got a text message from them directing me to go buy this product from them on Prime Day on Amazon with telling me like what the discount was, right? So the discount was greater during Prime Day than I would have had on their site. Plus I'd get it 2 days. And so it was this holistic way of taking your list, wherever your list exists, wherever your customer is, and sending the traffic to Amazon because they're always going to buy something there. They might as well add your product to their cart, right? I don't know what the average is on how many times a week people order things on Amazon, but there's enough days to catch them that like I had to order coffee pods. Okay, cool. I'm going to add in the bathing suit or something like that because I need a bathing suit for the summer. So I think it's really starting to look at it from like a holistic perspective and across platforms and treating it as a platform to send traffic to.
So if I reject your holistic, awesome approach,
Okay.
well, let's say I reject that and I'm watching this podcast because I want the 5-minute hack. I want to know something I can do in 5 minutes today. What would that be? Improve my conversion rates.
I mean, I think it would be probably digging deeper into your keywords to see if you could get some long tail ones or finessing your ads. I'm not sure how specific you want me to get here. I don't know if there's like a magic thing that I could tell you because I don't believe there is. But
no, of course it's not, right? Yeah. But I always try and encourage people, okay, what action can I take today? Where can I start, right? Because somebody's going to look at that holistic thing and just get overwhelmed, right? Like, where did they start? How do they get to?
Where is your
5
platform?
minutes, start here.
Yeah, like where are the people? Like if you don't have a list, then that's one thing. But if you have an Instagram account, let them know like, hey, go shop this. Like, here's the deal. I would go to where the customers are and tell them, hey, come here and buy, right? That's like your warm audience. I also think photos and video, right? Like some really good photos or relook at your photos and say like, does this help somebody convert to buying? And then is there a video or some sort of reinforcer there that's going to back it up? Like Minna is a small business and she says small business owned by two girls. Someone knocked her off and they're like small business with 2 boys. Like they literally copied her.
Yeah, I kid you not. It was like verbatim, but slight tweaks on it. And it was enraging, but you know what? There's nothing I can do to a certain point, right? So one of the things that I've been doing really well is we have video ads, and they're done in a different way.
Video ads are hot right now. If you guys aren't doing video ads and watching this, that's your 5-minute action item right there. Go shoot a cell phone video, 60 seconds, cut it down to 15, and just open the box.
A video ad would be really easy.
That was a keyword that made me excited.
Yeah, we were looking at her performance. We were together this weekend, and she was showing like all the leads that she got through this video ad. So like it might be costing her more, but the amount of purchases that she got from the video ad. And so I think we're seeing it across all platforms, but video is like a really big thing to use, whether it's in your listing or an ad to it. People want to interact with real people and real products.
You have to stop the scroll, right? And so even if you do a video ad, like Stephen was talking about, you could do one that's like on the go on your cell phone. I don't think that people want right now a really curated look that doesn't stop the scroll. Like those a whole bunch of stock photos put together would be an example of something I don't think that they're into right now. But mine, for example, had like little doodles on there. And it was like a little bit more fun, like, oh, what's this? It really broke up the feed. So you need to be really thinking. That's kind of the reason why we have these microphones too. It stops people like, oh, think microphones, right? You're stopping the feed even if you're on Instagram, on Amazon, on Facebook, whatever it is, even for Facebook ads, right? That's your whole goal. That's sometimes why we have ugly ads. I know this is crazy talk, but we keep them ads. Real ugly.
Engaging ads. That would be that's how I would frame it.
No, but they're like, if you think about it aesthetically, they're not like stock photos. They're not even like pose photos. They're definitely like graphically, like not what I would choose since I do have a background in graphic design, right? But it stops the scroll because they're like, oh, what's this ad? And so that's kind of what to think about when you're doing video ads, is what is likely to stop people in their tracks. Sometimes people do this with humor. For example, if that is what your brand is about, you can, like pop out of, the closet or something, or pop out of a car or whatever it is. That's sometimes what breaks up things. In, like, let's say the mom was all frazzled looking for yours, pouring, a cocktail into her tumbler. That sometimes is what people do, is they use humor or feeling like they relate to the customer.
So Pinterest.
Yeah, Raid asks, what about Pinterest for sales conversion? Have you guys been able to monetize Pinterest?
We are working on it. It's a long lead type deal. So it's something where people are discovering. When people come to Pinterest, they don't necessarily go to Pinterest with their wallets out to buy right away. They're searching, they're discovering, they're kind of saving for later.
Planning ahead.
Yeah,
Sure.
like I'm trying to do my dream bathroom. Okay, I'm going to add the sink to my thing. So I think it's not an initial, like, immediate sales conversion. I don't know if you have a different experience. I think it's something where they discover, and if they're able to link over when they're ready, they're going to go back to their Pinterest board and say, okay, now is the time to buy, and they have that connect to your store.
I think that if my Momstir wine glass brand couldn't do well on Pinterest, that it's too preliminary. $15 item and tons and tons of boards with people talking about this stuff. I struggle with it. So I do try things every 6 to 12 months, try them again, see what will happen. But I have not cracked the Pinterest one yet. All right. So you guys have an awesome podcast. It's called the Product Boss Podcast. If somebody had never heard of you before, you want to pick one pod that they should listen to right after this. What is that special pod they should go Google?
We have, we've got the email one. Nina runs the.
You guys can pick one each. All right. So
okay.
Jacqueline says the email one.
Well, okay. I'm going to say this one right here, the last one with Sabina, that beautiful blonde right there. That was a really helpful one. Our community loved it. So it's an interview podcast, but basically Sabina helps you do your own publicity. So she helps you understand the idea of publicity and to get it out there. So for a friend that posted about this, like, very special product in this niche, and getting people to be aware of it, because right now, friends, is the time that people are putting together gift guides for the holidays. So long lead publications are getting ready for the holidays. So it's the time now for you to start thinking through, what am I selling in the holidays? Now, that is definitely an interview version of it, but I think people found it really helpful.
And Minna, what one would you recommend people watch?
I think, I'll go with the one that Jacqueline was saying. It's one of our older ones. I don't know if we have it in there on this top ones, but it's one of our most popular ones. It's the top. It's something like the 3 emails.
It's there. It's at the top. Go back up. It's the one all the way to the left. This gray one right there.
250 episodes.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah, I do that all together. Yeah,
the 3 emails every product biz needs. I like this because it gets you thinking about your business, and though even if you're a business on Amazon, you could still utilize these things. And the 3 emails are, the welcome sequence, the post purchase, which is thanking them, and and the cart abandon. So you can't really use it on the Amazon platform, but it starts having you think a little bit about why people buy, So I know that there's Amazon businesses and you want them to be passive. But the thing is, in order for you to think long-term about your business, you kind of have to understand the strategy behind it, why the customer buys your products, why they rebuy from you, what makes them convert. So even if you're doing it by passive tactics and things like that, understanding the reason why it's really helpful anyway. So that would be a really good one. And we talk a little bit about that. And for any entrepreneur, I think it gets your brain going, and that can be really helpful too.
Well, perfect. I've posted links to both of those episodes in the comment section for those that want to check those out following our podcast today. Jacqueline and Minna, it was a pleasure having you on my Amazon Guys podcast. If somebody wants to get in touch with you, what would be the best way to do that?
So you can listen and subscribe anywhere for the Product Boss podcast, anywhere that you listen to podcasts. We are always on Instagram at The Product Boss. So come say hi. You can DM us questions or say hello that you watched. And then we have this amazing product called A Year of Content. So it's ayearofcontent.com. And that actually helps you think about types of content to talk about your products through email and through social media. So if you check that out, that's A Year of Content. So when you're feeling like, I don't know what else to talk about, or I don't want to say like, buy now, we really help you really talk about your product in a way that's useful to your customer so that you engage with them, and then they will ultimately convert to a customer.
Well, perfect. Thanks again, Jacqueline and Minna. If you guys liked our podcast today, feel free to leave us a comment. Daniel says, great episode.
Oh, thank you, Daniel.
Feel free to say, show some love, hit that like button, hit a comment or two. Let us know what you liked about it. All right, that's the My Amazon Guy podcast today. I will be back on Friday at noon to answer literally any Amazon question. So Minna, Jacqueline, feel free to come back and try and stump me, since you'll be the one asking questions next time.
Perfect. Thanks, Steven.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Have a good one.
Bye.
Thanks so much.